Welcome to Lunar Retro Reads r/Prorevenge, where stupid games win stupid prizes. If you enjoy listening to me read, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you know every time I update. For now, let's get into it. Partner with limited authority over management, playing from workers' dugout, though. Posted by Prorevenge It. I had recently partnered with a small production facility in my area. Our contract was based on capital investment along with designing/implementing new automation processes. The 2-year outlook finished in 8 months. It was a typical small production facility comprised of 50 production workers through 2 shifts of 12 hours that ran 2 days on and then 3 days off. Also had 2 production supervisors for each shift and 1 maintenance supervisor for each shift. The people and their attitude is ultimately what led to my decision to be more than an outside contractor for this company until I worked the night shift for a week due to shutdowns that needed to occur to implement certain line upgrades. This is where I met him. We will call him Richard Head. Richard seemed like a nice guy in our first few encounters, and then I heard him in his element directing his maintenance crew at night over the radio. He would belittle his group of guys who were there to do a set task list every night for whatever machinery they were doing preventive maintenance on. Unless something broke on the line, which would require attention first, obviously. I have never heard grown men spoken to like this, and never heard any nasty remarks back or defending themselves. He would call them stupid on the radio if they were having trouble troubleshooting a problem, call some fat and lazy, called one black guy the N-word. The guy had been there since they opened the doors, and to be honest, made me want to rescind any commitment I ever had to this company. When I escalated this up to the plant manager, he assured me that it was friendly banter and they rarely had any complaints against him. True, because anyone who ever did so in confidence of anonymity was always outed and then singled out until they were terminated by him. Since no one was going to listen to me, I decided to do my due diligence and start to document everything I heard on the radio with a date/time, witness to the treatment, and what rights the individual was having violated due to our state and federal outlines. I made this spreadsheet my entire time in the shift, documenting every personal account I witnessed as well. Harassment is a major problem with industry work, but one that I have learned is the company killer is retaliation. If you can prove that, then they stand no chance. I saw him one night tearing down this 50-year-old man who requested 2 days off to the point I wanted to lose my cool, but knew it would ruin all the information I was gathering. Days off were because his nephew was just in a car accident 2 days prior, and had to have multiple reconstructive surgeries scheduled. I knew that now was the time to move on everything. I rounded up all the maintenance guys and shared all my documentation with them. They didn't realize the importance of this information like I had. They just said nothing will change. Nothing changed because no one treats an issue as an issue if you come with incorrect, non-detailed information. The fact that he used the radio so much was a godsend that they didn't see as well. When he spoke this way to people, he must not have realized that there are other supervisors on shift, and that they, in fact, unintentionally became the strongest witness in the case, especially when you have some audio recordings verifying the accounts. They have no choice but to acknowledge what they have heard. Each worker took their logs, and even though I have a capital/time investment in this facility, I urge them at a minimum to petition to have this man removed or to threaten legal action. Once they coordinated a day to expose all this, it was like watching a sports movie when the underdogs take the championship and get the girl at the same time. Not only did the man finally get fired, but the entire atmosphere around the place changed more than I could imagine. Older machines ran the best they ever ran in my time there, and people loved coming to work again. They also put a placard on my door for when I came in about a week later. It said "Number 1 Boss," but the boss was crossed out, and hand engraved under it was the word "Badass." I obviously removed it from my door, but I put it in my home office, and it's probably the best thing I ever received from the facility. Now, that was Prorevenge. Prorevenge in the fact that it was very professional, but that he properly leveraged the environment against the toxic part in the environment. I like hearing that sort of thing. Nothing frustrates me more than the idea of people working a job and being abused when they're at that job. In fact, that idea enrages me. So it's nice to hear when, even though they had to do so much extra work to get it done, it's always nice to hear when bad managers get put out on their butts where they belong. Now for our next story. Don't want to work on our assignment? Fine. Neither do I. Posted by Renan003. This happened a few years ago in college. I had a class about entrepreneur projects, and that semester was building a business on paper. Basically, we had to figure out what the business would be about, how it would work, and how much money it would need and make. I did this subject in a different class, so I could have Fridays free. So I didn't know anyone in there except for one guy. Let's call him Mark. So I teamed up with Mark and 3 leftover people to be in our group. At first, things were working like a charm. Since we only cared about passing the subject and didn't give a crap about our grades, we would each do a part of an assignment. We had to deliver assignments each Wednesday, but we still got max scores on them. Our grade would basically be based upon all of our deliveries, plus some points on individual tests. Important information for later. Didn't take much time for things to start to go downhill. It reached a point on the project that basically we couldn't modulate the work anymore. The 5 of us would need to sit down and brainstorm about the next steps. More specifically, when we reached the point of how we would earn money with our business. Either that or one person would do everything alone. My group chose the second option. And this is what would basically be happening for 6 weeks. On Friday, I would send a message on our WhatsApp group like, guys, we have to deliver X stuff on Wednesday. When do you want to meet? Saturday, no response. Sunday, the 2 checks would turn blue, meaning everyone read the message. No response. Monday, I would send a follow-up message. No response. Tuesday, I would work my ass off and deliver it alone. Wednesday, 2 hours before the deadline, someone, usually Mark, would send a message. Hey, how do you guys want to do it? Which I would answer, it's already done. And they would thank me and promise to release me from doing anything on the next assignment, which wouldn't happen, and the cycle would continue. After 5 weeks, I was fed up and got in contact with the teacher. Her response was that it was too late to do anything now because she couldn't assign me to another group, and she couldn't give me special treatment. But she told me to check my grades because most likely I already passed the subject. I looked on it, and with my individual tests, plus what I had already delivered on the project, I got a grade high enough to barely pass the subject. This was kinda effed up, but all the individual tests, and project as well, grades were public. So I saw that no one in my group had passed. The closest one was Mark, but he didn't deliver one of the individual tests, so he would still need to do something to pass. I could then and there be the bigger person and say something like, guys, I already passed the subject. Start doing something, or I won't do anything anymore. But I can be petty sometimes. On the 6th week, I didn't do anything. Wednesday arrived, and Mark tagged me in the group and asked if I did anything. I remained silent. Panic started arising. Group members texting me in private. I removed the blue scene icon in my WhatsApp and would read the messages in airplane mode so they wouldn't see me online when reading, except for the group messages because they would see that I read them regardless of leaving that setting on or off, so I didn't read them. Apparently, when you don't do anything related to the project in 5 weeks, it's hard to figure out what to do next. Deadline passes, I go to sleep. Class was at nights, at distance because of COVID. Wake up the next day, several name callings, assignment not delivered, and the group threatening to report me to the teacher. My answer was simple. Teacher's already aware. I'm not doing anyone's work other than mine. You can all go to hell. And left the group. At the end of the semester, only Mark and I passed. They got their turd together in the end, but not enough for the other deadweights to pass. Was the sweetest 6. Grades here go from 0 to 10. 6 is the bare minimum to pass I ever got. Mark never talked to me again, but it was for the best. Edit. Just had a sad realization. COVID happened a few years ago already. This was in the first semester of 2020. Dang, I have not enjoyed the last 2 years of my life. Edit 2. Should have mentioned that it was a private college and those deadweights had to redo the subject. So not only they wasted a lot of time, if you didn't pass in that subject, there was another one in the next semester that you couldn't do. They also had to pay for it. I love this. I absolutely love this. I enjoy group projects. I like working with other people. I like putting together a thing, but I also like having a certain amount of control over my portion of it. But the idea of doing a group assignment where you just dump everything on one person's lap and you're supposed to rotate that, first off, that's dangerous. I get it, but that's dangerous. And secondly, the first time other people fail to pick up their side of that agreement, yeah, I start looking for ways to set everyone on fire and just save myself. And that's what OP did here. So I absolutely agree with it. I love it. Well, that'll be it for the day. I hope you enjoyed our time together. Once again, this has been Lunar Retro Reads. If you enjoyed the stories today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that alert button. I hope you have a great day.